didn't work, put it on the shelf, let life take its events, and next thing I knew, we're flashing forward 20, 25 years, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. No matter what, I'm going to do it.
Wow.
Even if nothing becomes of it.
Holy cow.
Even if nothing becomes of it, yeah. To me, I love writing. Doesn't matter that I'm the next Stephen King or anything like that. I love doing it.
Now, let me direct people to your website. They can follow along with us. Go to Reyna Hawk, REYNAHAWK.com. You just used a number with the audience, 25 years. And I marvel when I go to your website now, because we've talked about this series a lot. And I'm very excited about what is changing in the publishing world, yet we're still talking about storytelling. It's still the art of storytelling, the ancient art of storytelling, generation to generation. That whole universal means of communication. You can, even if you don't speak the same language, you can act out what happened. The car came. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's what I wanted to celebrate with your visit, and people can follow along. Go to REYNAHAWK. Go ahead. Why is storytelling so important, no matter how new and edgy the medium?
To me, storytelling, whether it is telling stories of actual personal events that's happened, my mom, and maybe that's where I get it, my mom used to sit us down and would tell stories of things that happened to her when she was younger. I absolutely loved that because it was like telling a part of history, even though nobody else knew the history, just our family. And when you sit down and start reading a book, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, it takes you into another place. It takes you out of the stresses of your daily life. If you just had an argument with your boss, your spouse, whoever, your kids are driving you crazy, you sit down and read a book, it takes you into another place, and you can actually relax and let go of the stresses of life.
Isn't it true that you could still be in the same household, but all of a sudden you tone down, you get kind of a subliminal thing going, with tuning out the noise. You get deeper and deeper in. Now, at what age did you decide not only that you would like to tell stories, but when did it start to come to you that you were good at it and that this is, something you should really, put everything into? Because to wait 25 years on a project and have it be as exciting as it is, that's an extraordinary thing. I think the audience went, oh, wow, that's a while. So go ahead. How does talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, like I said, I knew back 20, 25 years that that's what I wanted to do, whether or not I was good at it.
Right.
Back in my early 20s, I was kind of insecure and, I don't know if anybody will like this.
Right.
Now, it's a completely different ballgame. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me if I'm the next Stephen King or
that. I get that. But I'm asking if anybody vocalized any support and said, you know what, Reyna, you are good at that. That's what when did you hear that? Who was it? Best girlfriend? Was it a classmate?
Yeah.
Was it a guy? Who let you know, wow, you're good at this, Reyna? Tell us another story.
This, I took the book over to my best friend, and I said, I want you to read this, and just honestly, openly tell me what you think. And she read it. She looked at me, and she was like, wow, you're going to publish this, right? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about it. And she told me, this is great. You need to run with this.
Awesome.
In fact, she's the second author, the co-author on Angels and Arrows.
Rockin'. Now, I stay with the moment just a little longer for the audience.
Okay.
What did it feel like when you were hearing it from outside of you that somebody else was just as excited about it as you were when you conceived it and kind of wrote it, and when it came out of you, they were having the same experience? What's that like?
Well, to hear it from family and friends, you kind of get that impression of, okay, yeah, you're just being nice. But when you hear it from somebody who doesn't even know you, knows nothing about you, and they're sending an email or Facebooking me or writing a comment on my blog, how great it is, and seeing the actual reviews from people that don't know me, it is the best feeling in the world. Because then I'm like, okay, now I know I'm doing what I want to do.
You're awesome. You really are. Will you come back
thank you.
Will you come back on the show? Here's what I love all summer. I know Oprah had a book club and all, and I'm not really that highfalutin. I mean, I respect all that, but I'm telling you, I'm so much more. Our book club is so much more for people who make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year in the household, and they just, you know what I mean? It's a whole different lifestyle.
Yeah.
They're not picking up $40, $50 books 5 times a week. They live in a different world, so they also are having summer. And for summer, nothing is like a book. Whether it's at the picnic where you're off sitting by yourself, it's at the beach, it's on the porch, it's under the screen, wherever you do it, it's just a great season for reading. So that's another reason why I wanted to really celebrate you a little bit, because you're providing that. Angels and Arrows is a publication from, am I seeing October 2012?
Yes, it was released in October 2012. This past month, I revised it a bit, added more content to it, changed the narrative from third person to actual first person, and re-released it.
Wow.
Got some new information in it and stuff, so...
How about that? And how that's pretty crazy. Now, I don't think I've ever heard that. You actually changed the point of view of the book? That's wild. Okay, so I mean, for other writers are going, holy cow! Wow, she's crazy. This girl's nuts. That's great. So now? How daunting is that? I mean, that really is. A book has, for those who've never tried this, a book has to have a consistent point of view. It has to, show something that continues to make sense 150 pages down the line. Why did you switch that? That is awesome. See, I knew you were awesome, and now you're even more awesome. Go ahead. Why'd you do that? What made you do it, and how hard was it?
Well, it was, as you say, daunting, because I wanted to make sure that all the she's was turned to I and all of that. But I decided to change it because I felt by changing it to first person, it gives it a more personal experience when people are reading about these paranormal events.
Right on. Right on. And
when
how are you with paranormal events, by the way? How are you with paranormal events? Are you cool with them and just kind of relate it? Or do they flip you out, and then when you write them, they come out a lot different than they happened? Tell me about that. How are you with the paranormal?
Well, let's see. How do I say this?
Any way you want, exactly.
Angels and Arrows is written. 90% of the things that happened in Angels and Arrows happened to me.
I knew it, yeah.
I don't really get flipped out over it or freaked out over it. Sometimes I do. It's like, whoa, this isn't happening. But most of the time I'm like, it's one of those, wow. Yeah. This is really happening type things. It doesn't really bother me.
You know what? I get what you have, and you have 2 little ones. I see you're a mom of 2, so you really are steady, aren't you? For all, you're all, to me, very personable, but you are kind of a rock of Gibraltar. You have an idea. It sits 25 years. You handle paranormal. You're pretty cool with it. You don't flip out. If people haven't been to your website, they need to go. It's Reyna, Reyna, Hawk, HAWK.com. The books are available there. Get the books, Angels and Arrows, that has now been re-released, as you heard. What a remarkable story that is. She changed the point of view of the book, re-released it from first person, even more revealing than the first time around. And the new book is The Alter Ego of Insanity, a psychology thriller, which first caught my attention because I love thrillers and I like psychology. So you're just a great guest. We come back on, we'll talk some more over the summer, and we'll talk about fun over the summer. What are you doing for the summer? You going away? You going to amusement parks? What do you? Or the kids are too big for that now? What do you do for the summer?
Well, just to correct you a little bit, I'm a mother to 1, grandmother to a 4-year-old.
Oh, shush! How is that? That's not right. That must be a typo in your own.
No,
I think
you're
making the typo right now. I think you're making a mistake with your life. Wow, wow! How do you do that? All right, Grandma. All right then.
Yeah.
You can have an extra stripe on your uniform, Grandma. We were already making you a general. Now you're a 5-star general.
Oh yeah, for the summer, it's basically spending time with my little family, my granddaughter and son and daughter-in-law, just doing things,
right
or writing.
Anybody reading Grandma's work and go, hey, Ma, Grandma's crazy. Did you read her book? Hey, did you believe her? Grandma's been on flying saucers and Grandma's nuts. Oh, no, she's not. We just were with her in the other room. Oh, no, you didn't read her book. Oh, that would be so neat to see what they're like when they're reading your book and they don't know you're watching. Then they start talking about what you wrote. That's so precious. Yeah.
My niece said it the best. I sent her like a rough draft of The Alter Ego of Insanity. I sent it to her and I said, tell me what you think. And she sent me a text back that says, I'm not even sure what to think of you being my aunt right now.
Oh, you're great. See, I knew that shows to the audience how great the writing is. There's the litmus test. All right, so you're going to come back on the show for sure.
Yes.
We should get the books right on your website or Amazon. Where do you like people to get a hold of your books?
If they go to my website, if they click on any of the pictures of the books, it'll take them to Amazon or Smashwords. But they're basically available online anywhere.
Right
Amazon,
on.
Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, Kobe.
You got it. All right, let me make sure they have the titles. It's Angels and Arrows, and it's the Alter Ego of Insanity. The website is ReynaHawk.com. Reyna Hawk, our guest. Reyna Hawk, a real, you know what you are? You're a real Midwestern treasure. You're everything America should be, right in the middle. You got the grandma thing, you got the books, you're right there doing it. Everybody else is talking about everything, and you are doing it, Reyna Hawk. Thanks for being with us tonight. A real pleasure.
Thank you.
You bet. Oh, man, am I in a good mood now. I am in an awesome mood. All right, we got plenty of trial. We got Barb Perez coming up. Barb was trying to call during Reyna, and I was like, I can't let Barb see me with another woman. I'll lose my whole deal there. So I had to kind of like stall and pretend I wasn't in. Oh, la, 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 Sassoon.